Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Great Big Money Experiment. In this episode, we'll just be updating my expenses and my net worth for the month that ended in January 2021. So, first things first, let's look at my spending. Sure, generally, we don't spend on alcohol for consumption at home, but in this month, we will be buying another wine kit to make us some wine at home. All the alcohol that we drink is homemade. I've noticed that my clothes are kind of worn out, so I'm gonna toss away a bunch of stuff that's no longer suitable and replace it. I managed to not really spend any money on my hobby last month, which means I can save that extra into my hobby savings account for a bigger purchase. My savings over the last month was about $350 more than planned. But in the coming month, it will probably be lower because I'm moving into a lower paying job and my expenses will be more. On the graph plotting my spending over the months, we see that this month is much higher than the others. And the biggest reason for this is just that we've started aggressively saving towards travel. So my travel expenses, or my travel savings rather, is considered an expense for me because I won't be investing that money and it won't be working for me. It will get spent eventually. So let's see what my net worth did this month. So my emergency fund is at the targeted $4,000. My credit card is lower than usual just because of the timing of when I paid it. I moved some of my non-registered investments over to my RRSP to max out my contribution room for the tax year, and that's why we see the drop there. My tax-free savings account saw some growth, but I also contributed to that account. Then you can also see my RRSP has increased, and like I said, that's because I maxed out the contribution room on that account for the year. So my net worth is up 1,500 and almost $80. That's a pretty good month. Here we see it plotted out month by month and it's slowly coming up towards the target. So these funds are savings that I don't include in my net worth. Like I mentioned, I contributed to my aspiration savings quite aggressively over the last month. So that's why that box is highlighted. You see a $500 increase from last month to this month. I added some hobby savings, some deferred spending. So the total increase for my funds not included in my net worth is $670. My credit score is still excellent. I was a little bit worried there last month when it dipped into the good zone instead of excellent, but fundamentally nothing's changed, so this should slowly increase in the coming months. Thank you for watching. That was a pretty short one. I'm going to try and do a video about fundamental analysis in investing and the process I used when I was buying individual shares. So stay tuned for that one.